Alright, this video is for the Airlift 5000, 55,000. It's an airlift tool. It's part number 550,000. It's the Uview. Anyway, there's little instructions inside the lid. The case is kind of nice. It's got airlift written on it. My garage is a mess, of course. It's always a mess. Anyway, it comes up wrapped up in foam with a little label. This will be the first use. I've already put a coupler on this. The pieces fit together nicely. Kind of one-handed because I am using a phone. I don't have a real camera. And it snaps in there. And this is for putting suction on a radiator. And it comes with some adapters for different radiator necks. And I'm going to be doing a 2004 Chevy Suburban, which should probably use this piece here. It does not have a radiator neck. It has an overflow tank that is part of the whole cooling system. After you suck a vacuum down, you close off the ball valve, you give it a check, let it hold for 20 seconds or so, and it shouldn't lose any vacuum. It should be in the 24 to 26 inches of vacuum, inches of mercury. I don't know what that is in metric. Then this gets inserted into this here piece, and this hose goes into the antifreeze bottle and the water bottles. And it's got a little screen in the end to keep dirt and muck out of the system. But I'm using all new, fresh stuff, so it shouldn't be a problem. And it just sucks it in, supposedly. So we'll see. This is made in USA, I believe. Somewhere it says that. No, made in Canada. There it is. Canada's good. Canada, Germany, USA. They're all good. So we're going to try this out. I got my compressor charged up. There's a couple other tools I'll tell you should have if you're going to do cooling systems. Here's a whole bunch of water. I have a pickup truck I got to service too, so that's diesel, so it takes 8 gallons. But this only takes 14 quarts, so 7 quarts of Cool and 7 quarts of water should do the job. So it's supposed to be really easy, so they say. I've flushed the system already. I've replaced the hoses. It's a 2004 Chevy Suburban. It's dark out. If you have an overflow tank, you have to plug off the overflow hose, which in this case is this cheesy little plastic thing. And what I did is I took a spark plug cap, stuck a bolt and clamped it on there, and just stuck it on there instead of clamping off with a rubber hose, because there's no rubber hose. So hopefully this will hold the vacuum. I don't feel it necessary to put a hose clamp on that. It should be fine. This has the screw type radiator cap. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that better there. And that just screws on like that. And like that. Take that off. Everything's cleaned out, flushed, drained out the engine block. All new hoses, except for this hose here I gotta still replace, but I'll do it later because it's supposed to be so easy. Should be no problem. Heater hoses are brand new, and the radiator hose is brand new, upper and lower. It's got about 100,000 miles on it, so it's time to do it. Some tools that you should have if you're doing servicing would be this thing here. This is a hose remover, and it's awesome. To remove a hose, all you do is remove a clamp. You hook it under the edge of the hose, and you work it around the edge of the hose. So kind of like this. You gotta get in there and nice sound effect, and work it around, and then you can pop the hose right off. It's an awesome tool. I use this thing a lot for all kinds of hoses. You can see I got this at Harbor Freight. I know Snap-on sells one, and some other companies probably sell them. Mac, SK maybe. Lyle, I'm sure, sells one, but this was Harbor Freight. I bought it about 5 years ago for $10 or something. Pretty awesome. Another tool you should have is a hose clamp remover tool, which is this bugger here. And you can get on the clamps and it's got a safety on it, or a lock on it, and you just kind of pop it on there and you can work the clamp on and off. Another tool you should have is a couple of vice grips. I like these particular vice grips, which work really well for getting that hard to reach clamps. Some are easier than others to get. And of course a 8mm or a 5/16 deep socket with extensions and crap to work the hose clamps. I have to take the engine cover off. This is a drive-by-wire system. It has solenoids. It doesn't, or stepper motors. It doesn't actually have a throttle cable. Everything's electronic on this engine. And I take the air box off, air intake box off to get to the other hose connections. So anyway, we'll put this thing in here. I need to bore you with my life story. There may be better, easier ways to do things, but I'm not a professional mechanic. So we'll take this, walk it over, and put it into the radiator tank of this fine machine. Okay, we're going to see if it fits. First of all, not drop it on the ground. That one is good. This does not fit without the rubber coupling. So we'll put the rubber coupling on here very gently so we don't mess the gauge up, because the gauge is precision, supposedly. It squeezes on nicely. Get it in there. Alright, put it all the way down in. Okay, and it's in there. Now we tighten it up on it with this little doohickey here at the hold one end. So I'm doing this while I'm holding the phone, so that's really easy, right? Okay. Don't over tighten it. You don't want to crack the plastic overflow tank, of course. Nice close up of my ugly thumb. Chicks dig it. Alright, here we go. Okay, that's in there. Alright, now we're going to hook up air to it. Well, I'm going to get the connector. Hook up air to it. And this is the connector we use. No, this is the connector we use first. This is the bugger that allows us to... No. Wrong one. Alright. This is the one we went first. Air hooks up to this, and this end plugs into the valve. Okay. So easy you can do it with one hand. There we go. Alright. If the compressor kicks on, it'll get very noisy and you won't hear a thing I say, which could be a good thing, I guess. Plug that on. Okay. You can see the gauge going up. Just checking the vacuum. Oh yeah, the hose is flat. You can see the hose is very flat. It's all flat. Okay, I'm at about 25 pounds, or inches, sorry. Go a little higher than that. I don't hear anything leaking yet, but I'm going to turn the valve off. Okay. Now we'll see if it holds the vacuum for 20 seconds. 1,000, 2, 1,000. Actually, when the compressor stops, we'll know the vacuum is held. compressor off. Okay, we just turned off the compressor. We don't need it anymore tonight. Alright, so, not now anyway. We might have to do this twice. The directions say sometimes you gotta do it more than once. Let's see if I can not scratch my paint. Alright, so, that hasn't budged. That's really cool. So, we're gonna take this off. Alright, now the Venturi effect suction thingy is done. We're gonna put this back with the tool case on the floor here. We're going to take this little baby, this doohickey here, and we're going to plug it in. Okay, we still got the same vacuum because the valve is shut. Okay, now we're going to get a gallon of antifreeze. First gallon. Gallon of Dexcool here. I'm going to put the Dexcool right on top of here. Hope for the best, not spill it. That would suck. Put this right down the top of the antifreeze container. And let's see what happens here. Okay, I've opened the valve to the antifreeze container. Now I'm going to open the valve to this thing. Oops, I've just closed the valve to the antifreeze container. Okay, here we go. Holy crow, that's cool. Now, the one thing you got to watch out for is you don't really want to suck it dry. I don't know what happened there. It's part 2. So, I'm going to do a little bit more out of this bucket, this gallon of crap here. Okay, we just sucked air. I didn't want to do that. Okay, hold on here. Alright, I started this video with one phone, and now I'm using a different phone because, well, my memory was full. This phone has an almost dead battery, but it's a wife's phone, so it should work. Anyway, I put in 7 quarts. How do I know I got to put 7 quarts in? I did as much out of the containers as I could, and then I dumped the rest into a 2-quart paint mixing container. And as you can see, it's right below 32 ounces. So I have a quart left out of 2 gallons. That means I put 7 quarts in. Now I'm putting water in to top it off. I put in 1 gallon of water already. I've got about 5 minutes into this refill. And now we're going to see how it goes here. You can see the water going down, 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 down. And you can hear it going into the system. And you can see the hoses filling up. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. Another light on here. Oh yeah, there it goes. And it's got almost no vacuum left on it. And it looks like it's right where we want it to be. It's a little high in the container. We'll see what happens here. Alright, now the gauge is down. And that's it. That's it. That's it. That's all there is to it. And I'm done. So at this point, I just turn this off, turn off the valve. This shuts on and off to fill, you know. Take this off, take this out, and there should be no air in the system, hopefully, if I did it right. and it's a little full. I could suck some out real quick with whatever, or I can just let it go. So I'm going to start the engine up and let it run, see what happens, and we're done. That's all it took. It was fairly simple and easy, even though the video has been the most difficult part of this job. This can come off. Overflow is hooked up, and I can start her up, see how she works. Good night, buddy. Alright, hold on. So, I've started the car up. I drained some of the antifreeze off this overflow tank. And as you can see, we've been running for 5 minutes or so, revving the engine up. The antifreeze isn't going down at all. Go check if I got heat or what here in the car. Temperature's going up. That's a good sign. No issues. Got the heat set to 90. Full bore all the way to the top here. Let's see here what we got. Got heat coming out this register. Nice heat coming out. And there should be heat coming out the faces of the back registers wherever they are. Oh, it's not heated. What's up with that? Let's see, is the heat on? Yeah, the heat's all the way up. I don't feel a lot of heat coming out of those yet. I don't know if the heat worked on those before I started though. There it is. I can feel heat. Alright, so it seems to have done the job that it's supposed to do. Definitely lots of heat up front. Let's see. Hello, honey. Make sure everything's working properly. Yeah, it is. Has a lot of flush water and stuff too. So I guess you can't just go to that. I'll take it to Jiffy Lube, they'll dump it. Yeah, Mom did. Mom did. Nice heat coming out of here. Temperature's still not that high. Real good heat coming out. Alright, so we'll let it run for a little bit, get the thermostat to open up, make sure everything's good. Make sure there's no leaks. Always check for leaks when you're done. And I would consider this a success. So, hope this was helpful to learn how to use the airlift tool to service the cooling system. And it really is pretty cool. Remarkably simple.